go, Miss Taylor? Miss Taylor.
Okay, wait, I'm just checking. Are you ready?
Yeah, am I good?
Are you ready?
Yeah. Go. Alright, cool. So, do you think college athletes should be paid? Would it be fair if athletes could earn a small portion from the coaches who are making millions? College athletes are full-time students. They practice, go to classes. On top of everything, they must maintain eligibility. They multitask almost as if they had a full-time job while in school. Is the NCAA failing to protect college athletes, or are they exploiting athletes? So, what is the NCAA? Well, first of all, it was founded March 31st, 1906, and it stands for National Collegiate Athletic Association. The whole purpose of this organization is to protect every college athlete on and off the field by giving them skills in order to succeed. They try to provide a better pathway for athletes to have more opportunities in the future. The NCAA is well known already for protecting college athletes from exploitative practices, but over time, many people come to realize that the NCAA is failing to do so by forcing students to follow strict regulations. What is the goal for NCAA? Obviously, their main point is to protect students, but that is not all they do. The NCAA states in the mission statement academy to govern competition in a fair, safe, equitable, and sportsmanlike manner, and to integrate intercollegiate athletics into higher education so that the educational experience of the student athlete is paramount. It has been seen by many people that the NCAA is guilty of doing many things, such as taking athletes' rights of publicity and the rights of liveliness. Student athletes have no property rights in their own athletic accomplishments, meaning athletes have no control in their own person because of all the rules. There is a lot on the line for college athletes as to why they just simply follow the rules, and if not, they can be dropped from the team. College athletes are commercialized and are seen as cash cows, bringing in a lot of revenue for the NCAA. So are they really protecting college athletes? Is the NCAA focused on money or college athletes? There are many big-time sports in college that are divided into 3 divisions. Each of them are commercialized with billions of dollars flowing through each year. With so many people paying for tickets, merchandise, and watching on live television, college sports has become a huge part of college, mainly because it is the main source of income for these schools. Student athletes have become a big asset to a lot of colleges and universities. In that case, many athletes are compared to people who have full-time jobs working 30 plus hours. However, college athletes have to practice and do homework. College athletes should receive some sort of compensation. They are being overworked and underappreciated. The NCAA isn't really protecting students, rather they are benefiting from them. So, who does the NCAA pay instead? Why are college coaches paid instead of athletes? College athletes risk their own well-being during games. What if they were to get hurt? They could possibly lose their scholarships, and they have to find a way to pay through school, leaving them vulnerable instead of rewarding hard-working college athletes. They instead pay college coaches millions. Coaches don't have the physical ability to handle half the work their athletes put up, but yet there's still some way to pay coaches. But why? In the News and Observer, an athletic director from NC State says, the ACC is moving closer to the market leaders, the SEC and the Big Ten in terms of revenue, and league expects to be even closer to those conferences once the ACC television network launches in 2019. An increase in revenue from ticket sales and TV means schools pay coaches more money just because they can, but sometimes because of the cutthroat competition to get it and keep the best coaches, schools pay more because they have to. Here's a list of the highest paid football coaches in 2014, with the top 3 being Nick Saban, Mark D'Antonio, and Bob Stoops, and all 3 combined make almost $20 million. With the top 10 coaches combined, they make more than $50 million, and 0 goes to college athletes. How much does the NCAA make? The NCAA made $867.5 million from March Madness television and marketing rights alone in the 2018-19 year. The NCAA also brought in $177.9 million in just ticket sales that year. In 2019 financial year, the NCAA made more than $1 billion in revenue from its television and marketing rights fees segment that the NCAA owns. Although they do distribute the money, they still can't find a way to give any to the students. The NCAA should take revenue sharing into consideration so that way everyone is rewarded fairly. Where does all the money go? So once millions are gained by the NCAA, where does it go? Most of the money is distributed to D1 schools to help with academic programs and many other services. Basically, the money is mostly distributed to schools based on their college athletics academic performances. Also, a percentage of that money goes to the NCAA's national office, and money goes to the operation of championships, tournaments, and games. There are about 12 ways they're splitting up the money, but there is so much unnecessary money that schools rather keep the money than to reward it. And then, let's see here. So then here are a few ways that the money is distributed. Although the money is being distributed, college athletes could also benefit from getting paid. Many athletes come from high-based poverty environments or high-crime environments, and they are given a chance to play football with a full-ride scholarship. In many cases, student athletes' families are still struggling from financial problems, looking for a way to live day by day. Instead of spending money on unnecessary programs or services, it would be better if compensation went to the families in need of it. What is the next for a student athlete after college? After college, student athletes either plan on making it to the pros or pursuing a job in their field, but there is no guarantee in making it into the pros. So then on the graph here, for example, we have 72,000 participants in the NCAA, and only 1.6% of them go to the major pros. So less than about 1,300 to 1,400 college athletes go to the pros. And what was it like for a former student athlete? And here I have a clip of Aaron Foster he played for the University of Tennessee.
Matt, put your cursor over to the right, Aurelio, and click the play button on that. Move it to the right.
It's not going.
Yeah, right.
Just look at the top.
So here's your cursor, you gotta move to the right. And then see how it's here now?
Oh, yes, yes.
So much time. I didn't know what to do with my time because before I'm up early in the morning, lifting weights, running, then going to class, then after class get a little lunch, then go to another class, then you come back and you're in meetings, and after meetings you go to practice, and after practice you can find some kind of energy to study.
Yeah, well, give me a rundown. So, like, what time of the morning would you get up?
So
when you're in school,
usually I had most of my classes were the 8 o'clock classes.
So 8 a.m. you're up.
No, I was up before that. So and depending on the day, so you have to get a workout in. Depending on every strength coach has a different protocol. So you have to lift at least 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week. And so you either lift before class or before practice or after practice. So you have to find your time.
But after practice, you gotta be hard, right?
Yeah, I mean, really then you're just kind of going through the motions.
So, but do you want to do it before practice? Because then you might be tired when you go into practice. You might not perform up to the best of your abilities.
I was not the best at that. I used to get in trouble a lot because I was like, "Dog, there's no way you guys can expect me to do it." I used to get in trouble a lot for skipping weights. And I wasn't big on weights anyway. I didn't see, like, because we had a lot of Olympic weight lifting, and that's kind of changing too. We had a lot of like deadlifts and squats, and I was never a fan of that stuff. I was like, this is not conducive to being successful.
What do you?
Okay, and then we have another video, Reggie Bush from USC.
The way I look at, especially for football, I mean, they're putting their bodies and livelihoods on the line, just like we are at the professional level. And just to say that, you know, college education is, you know, enough is, when the universities are making so much money off the athletes, they're selling your likeness, selling your jerseys, bobbleheads, whatever else, blankets, whatever else they can sell, you know, while you're there for those 3 or 4 years, you know, the kids deserve more, and they should be given more. So they should at least be compensated. I don't know what the number is, but it should be something.
So then also got the chance to interview Henry Graham, and let's see here, he played Division I soccer, and he states, obviously it's a huge governing body of sports. I think they have a hard job. I think there are also 29 elite sports now, maybe more. There are all sorts of rules and regulations. There are also many laws that go into as far as Title IX and gender equality, and student athletes taking improper benefits. I don't think the NCAA does a fantastic job of regulating everything in the right way. And should college athletes get paid? And is there a resolution? Yes, they should be paid, no question. All their hard work is what brings in a lot of money into the program, which benefits the schools that cover a lot of costs. Paying college athletes would also help begin creating a sense of financial awareness, as it would help teach the basics of personal finances to athletes in order for them to become more responsible of their money. Many of them have also dealt with very public financial struggles after retirement. Most importantly, paying athletes could also be a benefit to their families as well. And then my career is CHP officer. Although I'm very interested in sports for a career, I like to become a California Highway Patrol officer. The main responsibility of a CHP officer is to ensure road safety. There are also additional tasks that are done throughout the day, which include protecting state buildings, conducting criminal investigations, and assisting local law enforcement agencies. Education and training required. You'll need at least a high school diploma or GED, but you may be required to have a degree in criminal justice or law enforcement. Some states require 1-2 years of work experience or military service. In addition, you'll also need strong communication skills. And the job outlook, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics report that the jobs for police and detectives in general are expected to increase 5% nationwide from 2019 to 2029. Typical day, the job is providing safety, service, and security to Californians and visitors as well to the state. Officers do much more than write tickets. The CHP is very diverse, and they perform many duties like patrolling the streets, protecting, for example, the governor. And then salary, once you have graduated from CHP Academy, cadets are promoted to the position of a normal officer. Annually, an officer's base pay is $80,000, and there is a 5% increase that occurs yearly until the top step base salary of $97,572 is reached. So you can expect around $75,000 to $100,000. And then my 2 to 4 year plan. My main plan at the moment is going to Central Oregon Community College and transferring to 4-year university. And I'll try to get a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, then go to the police academy and go from there. And then here's my bibliography.